I would like to welcome Dr. Stephen Wright, who's the Associate Dean of Student Affairs and Associate Professor.
Well, thank you very much, Ibtisam, and good evening, everyone. I'm delighted to welcome you here to the information session of the College of Humanities and Social Sciences. And what I can assure you is that if you were to come and join us and take part in one of our degree programs, it's a decision that you will not regret. You'll be joining a community of scholars, and we strive for excellence in every respect. The community that we have within the college is thriving in the sense that it's incredibly dynamic. As you've heard from our alumni and as what you've heard from our dean, the college is focused on it's societal facing. We try to make a difference within society from our degree programs, but more than that, the faculty that we have within the college are true experts in their field, and what we find is that they are able to infuse the curriculum of our very innovative degree programs, which we take a great deal of pride in. And from that, the type of education and learning experience that we can offer you, if you were to come and join us, it's really first class. The programs and the expertise that we have within the college reflect the areas of expertise that we have. We have a great deal of expertise in translation, languages, communication, and culture. And in addition to that, also in the broader field of Middle Eastern studies with specific areas of digital humanities and women's studies. And the program directors who are on this call will be going into some detail about the nature of those programs as we progress. But the College of Humanities and Social Sciences more broadly houses the Translation and Interpreting Institute. So by joining this college, you'll be joining what's part of you could say, a type of ecosystem within the college, whereby we have expertise specifically with regard to translation and communication, interpreting, and within that, that also houses some added value that we can offer our students, such as the Language Center. And that's something where we offer about 13 languages to the community, but also some of our students can also take that as well. We have a professional translation center. So those students who actually do our translation degrees will be able to do internships there. And what you'll find is all of our master's degrees have internships. So we're very much focused in terms of enhancing your employability, very much focused on ensuring that you get the maximum experience out of learning with us. But we also have some facilities within the college, such as a library and a writing center, which I'll talk about a bit later. But broadly speaking, we have five master's programs and one PhD program, and they are truly interdisciplinary, also excellent in terms of the nature of the curricula, and you'll hear more about this as we proceed. But if we move to the next slide, I just want to summarize that the faculty that you'll be engaging with, if you look at their publication profiles, look at what they actually do, you'll see that really these are leaders in their fields in their own right. And that is something that we're able to infuse to the curriculum. And by joining a graduate level community, you will be really be acting as one of our colleagues within the college. And we take a great deal of pride and it's for us, it's a pleasure to engage our students in research projects, which actually make a difference. And a good number of our students do go on after finishing the master's degree to do doctoral study. So we're preparing the next generation of scholars, but also those who want to continue into professional life more broadly. We're a diverse community. We have it's under 100 students, and amongst that, we have 27 nationalities currently. It's incredibly diverse. The majority of our students are female, but we do have just under 20% of the students are male. And as you can see here, a snapshot of our faculty. But as I said, it's 6 degree programs which you'll be hearing about. So in the next slide, I'll talk just a little bit about our resources and the centers we have within the college. Because what we aim to do once you're part of our community is that we want to see you succeed. We want to see you thrive and flourish, and for that to be achieved, we have an academic resources center within the college. We are unique in HBKU in that we have our own resources center, which essentially is a subject specialist library. equipped with subject specialist librarians who will be able to guide and help you in your research and access to information. And in addition to that, we also have what we call as the Aware Writing Center. So those of you who join us can go and make use of our writing specialists. They will help you, give you guidance, mentorship, so you can actually get the most out of your degree experience with us. And of course, this is all supplemental to what you would get within HBKU, which is first class. I mean, the library that the university has is excellent. You can also draw more broadly on Education City. And of course, we encourage you, of course, to take a language from our language center. And the Translation and Training Center, as I mentioned, is a professional translation outfit that we have within the college. And our translation students can take an internship there to gain that professional exposure. Now, in the next slide, I'll talk about Education City more broadly. So our building is in the top left-hand corner. So this is where our college is held. And the building in the top right-hand corner is also part of HBKU. And this is also where the university library is located. And the architecture, and as you can see, of this type of environment is truly spectacular. The bottom right is actually the student housing. So it gives you it just underlines the high quality of the facilities that exist. And of course, there's a student center as well. So even in your experience after your learning, the extracurricular activities, the broader how can I put it, activities that we put on allow you to really gain the most of your learning experience. So we aim to recruit the best students, but we aim to give you the experience which will make you better as you move further afield. Now, in the next slide, what I want to show you is that we are when you're coming into this college and actually get into our degree programs, you're able to draw from a network of partnerships. We're an incredibly as Dina Mal said at the beginning in the video, we are a college that's committed to engaging with society. And what you can see is this is just a small snapshot of the entities that we engage with in a professional context, which our students also have been engaged with, done internships there, or even work there. But it's an incredible range of connections that the college actually has. So you'll be, by drawing into that network, you'll be able to enhance your career, enhance your prospects, and also gain a very unique exposure more broadly. Now, in terms of local and international opportunities, we do our best to try and support our students, and we've supported students for them to go and make presentations internationally, and do internships, as I mentioned before, at entities within Qatar, and this has helped our students immensely, so they get the most out of their learning experience more broadly. But I think the key thing I would conclude is that when you join this college, you will be joining a community of excellence, a community of scholars, and it's something that will stay with you even after you graduate, and whereby we'll be able to support you in gaining not only the most from your degrees, but also the best learning experience. And there is nowhere in the world which is the same type of learning environment that Education City in Qatar Foundation has. So you'll be able to thrive and enjoy it. So I wish you all the best, and my colleagues now will talk about their programs. Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Stephen. And now I would like to ask Dr. Julie, the Associate Professor in Translation and Interpreting Department.
Hi, everybody, and thank you for coming today. My name is Julie, and it is my pleasure to be here and to present the 3 programs of our department, the Translation and Interpreting Studies department. So I will present the Master of Arts, which you can see here, the Master of Arts in Translation Studies, but also in the next slides, I will be presenting the Master of Arts in Audiovisual Translation and the Master of Arts in Intercultural Communication. So before I go into the specificities of each program, I would like to quickly highlight what they have in common. So they have a joint structure and they have some joint characteristics as well. So they are, for instance, 2-year programs, unless you do it part-time, and in which case you would have to take 3 years to complete. The curriculum is 39 credit hours, like across the college, meaning that you would be with us every afternoon from 4 to 7, from Sunday to Wednesday. And Thursday afternoons are reserved for the many exciting events that we organize in and across program in the college and in Education City at large. As you have seen, we have very nice venues for this. I would like to stress that all three programs address the key challenges faced by the humanities and social sciences in our globalized societies. The question of how knowledge is produced and circulated across languages and cultures and territories, and be them digital or physical. So the second aspect that is transversal to the three programs is that they involve students in the very practice of interlinguistic and intercultural communication across contexts, settings, and audiences. This is the transversality which allow students to sharpen their communication skills and to develop an understanding of the complexities of creating and sharing knowledge, ideas, concepts, emotions across languages and cultures. So let me now turn to the specificities of each program within this joint framework we have in the department. So for MAS, the Master of Arts in Translation Studies, it's the first of its kind in Qatar, and it prepares students to perform translation across multiple contexts of work which shape the language industry in Qatar and beyond. For instance, the media, trade, the legal and financial sector, as well as literature. So it's very, very varied. So in the first year, students will develop the translation skills that are necessary and common to all contexts. And then in the second year, they will specialize in the areas they are particularly interested in. To enable this, candidates need to come with the linguistic skills in English and Arabic. This is very important for you to be able to translate. And that's also the case for the audiovisual translation program, of course. These linguistic skills will be further developed, of course, through the practice of translation and in the courses, basically, and in one specific course designed for this, which is the Arabic Stylistics for Translators, because one thing is to be fluent in two languages, quite another is to translate. So there is a specific course to really sharpen the linguistic skills you need for translation particularly. Concomitantly to that, students will learn how translation has been theorized in time and space, exploring foundational theories of the field, which have been anchored in the North and in the West and the liberal paradigm, traditionally at least, and then opened up their mind to critical approaches that have emerged with the postmodern and post-colonial, even decolonial term. So the curriculum really strives to make theory ring true to practice and vice versa, thus preparing graduates to live up to the standards of excellence of both the industry on the one hand and the academia on the other. In this slide, the internship and the thesis which students do in the second year are really a springboard. The internship is done in the Training Translation Center, which is part of that tree you saw under TII, the Translation Interpreting Institute under the College of Humanities and Social Sciences. And it's a very prestigious translation service provider in Qatar industry. And this is where students really benefit from hands-on practice and from the expertise of senior translators and project managers who've been working for decades in Qatar Foundation. So this is really a unique opportunity for our students. And last but not least, because the work of translation is now increasingly mediated by technologies, students also learn how to work with computer-assisted translation softwares and to develop a practical, but of course also a critical understanding of the challenges and the stakes of machine translation in our increasingly technologized world. So let me now turn to the Master of Arts in Audiovisual Translation. It is the first and the only one in Qatar and in the Arab world, thus attracting candidates from the Gulf and the Middle East, willing to work in this very specific branch of the language and media industry in Arabic and English. Audiovisual is much broader than we tend to think. It includes the film industry, but also all spheres of society, museums, education, tourism, all falling under the umbrella of creative industries. The creation of contents is increasingly multimodal nowadays, and the market demands graduates who are equipped with the practical, the theoretical, and creative skills involved in translating and adapting audiovisual contents across audiences who speak different languages. So there is subtitling and dubbing, of course, which are the traditional and widely known practices that have become so popular in the changing landscape of the film industry, like with Netflix and so on, but also audiovisual translation for access. So this includes subtitling for the deaf and the hard of hearing, and the audio description for the blind and the visually impaired. This is a unique program where students benefit from long-term partnerships of our department with key players in the creative industry in Qatar, like the Doha Film Institute. For instance, if you regularly go to the Doha Film Festival, I love going there, actually, I go every year. You may have already experienced all-inclusive films. Every year there is a film that has been made accessible by our students. And last December, for instance, it was the Lebanese film 1982. So this is only one example of the many opportunities granted to students to learn through hands-on practice in real-life context under the careful supervision of faculty experts. So both translation studies and audiovisual translation programs are certified by the University of Geneva, giving you an idea of the international prestige that they have acquired and upheld throughout their years of experience of experience and existence, actually. So let me now turn to the third and last program of the department. It's our newborn, the Master of Arts in Intercultural Communication, which will launch next academic year. This is a unique program in Qatar designed to address the dire need for research in the complexities of intercultural communication and for developing effective intercultural communication policies and practices in multicultural societies like Qatar. Students will thus be prepared to manage communication across intercultural settings in profit and non-profit organizations, to do consulting in the public and the private sectors through classes and through the internship, which was mentioned several times before. They will learn to develop research methods and tools that are sensitive to cultural and language difference and systems of knowledge, and conduct research with these tools and methods in the thesis under the supervision of faculty in TISD and CHSS. So to conclude, these three programs are characterized by their interdisciplinary nature, their capacity to blend theory and practice, and finally, their capacity to train students in highly specialized skills, and at the same time, in transversal skills that are required of critical citizens nowadays. Thank you so much for your attention, and I will be happy to take any question you may have afterward. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Julie. And now I would like to welcome Dr. Hassan Hakimian, the Director of Middle Eastern Studies Department, to present the two programs.
Hello, everyone. It's such a real pleasure to share with you this opportunity to explain some of the principal characteristics of our programs in the Department of Middle Eastern Studies, where I am a director. You've already had an excellent overview of why you should consider applying to HBKU as a university from my colleagues, and also a very good and apt description of three of the programs in our sister department, TISD, which is Translation Studies. And it's my privilege to now give you the other half. The Middle Eastern Studies department is relatively younger and fast-growing department. We started in 2017. We've already graduated 4 cohorts, and this year, as a matter of fact, in a few months, we are excited with the possibility of graduating a 5th cohort. So at the very heart of our department and its ethos lie 2 very innovative programs. And I will be spending time discussing The two of them, the first starting with the MA in Women, Society and Development, and then after that, the MA in Digital Humanities. So our department's genesis and growth is very much spearheaded by these two highly recognized, respected, prestigious, and also, I may add, popular programs. You've heard a number of common characteristics that run through our programs in CHSS as a whole, and I want to reinforce the fact that our two programs very much conform to the same characteristics. They are unique, they are future-facing, and they prepare our graduates to contribute to society at different levels. So everybody is nowadays aware of the importance of developing a better understanding of the role of women in society, in economy, in community, and I'm sure you're aware of several of the Sustainable Development Goals, the so-called SDGs, being focused on gender parity, on the imperatives of attaining gender parity, and it is with a view to such contribution at the societal level that our master's program in Women, Society and Development is developed and has been running in the last few years. In fact, if you get a chance to look at the profile of the academic profile of our faculty in the Middle Eastern Studies Department, you will see some absolutely top scholars in this field, very active in research, but also excellent educators, very, very popular with students, and the philosophy of turning every stone over in order to ensure that our master students' 2 years journey with us is rich, fruitful, and enjoyable, is an ethos that every one of us share. Now, you might ask, who should do this program? Why should I consider doing this program, the MA Women's Society and Development? Well, first of all, I think this is a common question. Some people may wonder, well, I haven't done any courses in gender or women before. Is this for me? Is this required? I want to emphasize that actually being an interdisciplinary program in an interdisciplinary college, we're very much enriched by the variation in the backgrounds and the richness of the experience of our student body. So our student body draws from a very, very wide range of experiences, and this itself adds a lot of value to the quality of learning and interactions in the classroom. So your past qualifications or experience should not be seen to be an obstacle for entry. What our students bring to the program is, I would say, very strong passion and commitment. This is a subject that attracts people who really want to make a difference in society and to play a key role in empowering women. So passion and commitment is very much a common attribute. But what attracts students to this program is a unique combination of both rigor, academic rigor, excellence on one hand, and of course relevance on the other hand. As I mentioned, the world at large has now, one can say, woken up to the importance of understanding and developing and contributing to the role of women in social, political, and economic context. So our program plays an important role in that context. The structure of our programs very much fits what you have already heard in the context of translation programs in TISD. Our full-time programs take 2 years. If you opt to do it in part-time mode, then you will take 3 years. The credit hours add up to a total of 39, and they consist of a group of core courses, which everybody has to do, because these are the building blocks of the subject area, and then some electives or optional courses, which you would have a choice over in order to shape up your abilities, knowledge, and skills in areas that are of particular relevance to you. I have here a listing of some of the courses, just to give you some idea. For instance, Women, Work and Economic Development in the Middle East. This is a core course. Introduction to Women and Gender Studies is another core course. We take research issues, research methods very seriously. So this is a core course that prepares you for your 2 years master's program that culminates in the second year with a thesis. That thesis actually takes up some 9 credit hours out of the 39. So it's about 1/5 of the entire master's program is taken up by thesis, which is an important part of your studies whilst you're with us. And then you have a range of elective courses that I mentioned, for instance, women in comparative religions. These are just examples because the list of elective courses can vary from year to year, partly reflecting our desire to stay up to date with issues that are topical. And these are, of course, dynamic and changing all the time, and partly because of the expertise of our faculty and their changing dynamics as well as we grow and expand. Before I move on to the next program, I should say that another very important part of your learning experience with us on this program is internship. And internships provide a unique opportunity for experiential learning, of course. We have working partnerships with about 40 institutions in Qatar and elsewhere, which are prepared to consider the possibility of hosting our students in summertime between first year and second year to do internship and benefit from the work experience. This is particularly popular with our international students who would like to dip their feet in water when in Qatar to test the job market, to widen their career possibilities and networks, get to know institutions. And this proves to be a very, very fruitful and productive time spent, as I said, as a bridge between first and second year. So if we go over to the next program, the Digital Humanities, again, this is a unique program, very popular, well established by now, very widely recognized. It's the first and only in the Arab world. Like our other programs, it prepares our students to learn the fundamental principles, theories, approaches in a methodic way, but also prepares them for further research opportunities such as applying for PhD programs. This applies to all our programs, master's programs. Now, you might again wonder, what is digital humanities? Why should I actually be interested in it? I'll put this in very simple terms. Nowadays, every one of us is aware of the fact that we have been completely overrun by the huge explosion in the quantity of information, and with it, the challenges that comes also with our ability to distill the quality of information. And both the quantity and quality of information as we speak in 21st century is very different than before. This requires systematic and methodic skills to be able to cope with information in the manner in which it requires collecting information, processing it, structuring it, and of course, putting it to use and applying it. And when I say information, of course, now the modality in which information transmits and travels has also diversified tremendously. We talk about information that is in print, newspapers, books, and publications. But of course, also traditional media, television, radio, and so on continue to play important roles. And of course, you are aware of the fact that nowadays social media are equally, if not even more important, because so many people have taken social media, and that has given individual citizens a platform not only to receive information, but also to disseminate information. And this in itself has raised a lot of very interesting, challenging issues, which I'm sure you are aware of. Think of the American elections last year, think of the discussions around fake information or misinformation in relation to the pandemic, in relation to the blockades, almost in the context of major political, social, economic events and developments. Information is so central, and our ability to distill information in the right way itself is now a real challenge. Digital Humanities Master's Program does precisely that. It prepares our students for facing challenges in our common day society, but also for the future. And this is why it is a highly innovative program. Again, I have here a listing of some of the program, some of the courses, some of which are core courses and others electives. Approaches to digital humanities, introduction to human language technologies, methods in digital humanities. These are the building blocks. They prepare our students in the first couple of semesters, which makes up first year. The summer period between the 2 years is again taken up or can be taken up by an internship or an independent research project, which is supervised by faculty. There's a choice there. And a lot of the second year culminates in concentrated research effort defined by thesis, which is again under supervision from faculty. So all in all, these two programs are, as I said, society-facing. They address two fundamental modern-day challenges, which are likely to be with us in the years to come. So they are very relevant now, but they have every prospect of continuing to be relevant into the future. And this is why our experience since we have started offering these two programs has been tremendously rich in the quality of students we have had, in the quality of our interactions in the classroom, and in the quality of faculty we have been able to attract. So if you're up for it, if you're interested in any of these two subjects, if you really are looking forward and would like to be excited by a 2-year intellectual and professional journey from a young, dynamic, and very intellectually very rich college environment, one of these two programs is waiting for you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Hassan. And now I would like to welcome Dr. Mehdi Riazi, the Director for PhD Program and Professor, and as well Associate Dean for Research.
Thank you very much, Ibtisam, and good evening, everyone from Doha, Qatar. It's now around 5:45 p.m., but I don't know what time is where you are based. Wherever you are, I wish you health and happiness. And welcome to our today's session, which I'm sure you have found informative up to now with my colleagues talking about different master's programs, as well as an overall overview of Hamad bin Khalifa University and our college. It's my pleasure, and I'm really delighted to talk about our PhD program. And so if Ibtisam could change the slide, yes, thank you very much. I would say that not only our PhD program, which, as you know, PhD stands for Doctor of Philosophy, which is the highest level of scholarship in any field and discipline, is unique in the sense that rarely you can find a PhD program that addresses issues related to humanities and social sciences, but also that not all the colleges at the Hamad bin Khalifa University offer, a PhD program. So it's a great opportunity for those who are considering studying at this level. And I assume that some of you who are present in today's online session are interested in our PhD program and would like to learn about it and then raise any questions that you might have. As you can see in this slide, the purpose of our PhD program is to foster interdisciplinary knowledge and research skills in our students so that the graduates of this program will be equipped and will be supported from supervision from across Education City, as my colleague Dr. Steve mentioned that at Education City we have an ecosystem of higher education, and also as PhD students, you will engage with themes and topics and ideas that cut across disciplines. And again, this is one of the unique features of our PhD program because it deals with a variety of topics, but all related to humanities and social sciences. However, at the time of graduation, because you will be working on a specific topic, you will be able to demonstrate expertise in a discipline or in a relevant field, which you have acquired over the 4 year of our PhD program. And not only you develop your theoretical understanding of your field, but also you enhance and foster your research and critical skills in order to become independent researchers and assume roles in different sectors in the society in the future, and producing original interdisciplinary research, which is one of the must of the time that we are living in, being researchers and being able to define independent research. So if you would like to know more about our PhD program, I can tell you that we have a rather North American system, because you might know that there are British, Australian models of PhD program, but also North American. What does it mean? It means that students will enroll in coursework. So you have 2 years, the first 2 years of your program. You will be engaged the first year with mostly, courses. But the second year, again, studying and preparing for qualifying exam. And then once you're done with your courses and you demonstrate your knowledge related to your broad discipline based on your qualifying exam, then you move on to research by preparing a proposal. Of course, one of the requirements for applying for our PhD program is to submit a proposal in order for us to understand what topic you are interested in. But in the fourth semester, you will, in the third semester, you will get the opportunity to work with your supervisors and therefore develop your proposal more fully and then defend it as your proposal. And once you defend your proposal, then you shift to the research section of your program, and you engage with collecting, analyzing, and writing up, chapters of your thesis. I don't know whether there is another slide for me to present. Yes. So in terms of the credit hours, there are overall 54 credit hours. Of these 54 credit hours, 36 are related to the thesis and dissertation. So you can see that the bulk of credit hours are allocated to the thesis, which means that you need to do a substantial work, and your thesis and dissertation actually will be the substantial work for this program. And then the remaining 18 credit hours will be covered by core courses, which include explorations in global humanities and explorations in interdisciplinarity as well as a doctoral independent course, which I mentioned before, that gives you the chance and opportunity to work with your supervisors on your proposal. Alongside the core courses, you have the option of choosing electives, 3 electives, either from within the college or if you're interested in any other course offered by other colleges in consultation, of course, with your supervisors as well as the program director. And yeah, so it's a combination of coursework as well as dissertation, as I mentioned before. I very much welcome you to apply and for our PhD. And if you have any questions, I would be more than happy to take on board your questions and answer your questions at the end. Thank you very much for listening.
Thank you, Dr. Mahdi. And now we would move on with the admissions, which is the most important part. So the application process and requirements for the master programs, eligibility, bachelor's degree from a recognized institution in a relevant field, high academic records, high level of proficiency in English and in Arabic only for the translation studies and audiovisual translation. The requirements: fill out an online application, submit your academic transcript with a minimum of 3.0 GPA or equivalent. The grading scales, only if your university does not follow a GPA system and if it's not out of 4. Personal statement or statement of interest on why do you want this specific program. So for students who are interested in more than a program, they need to submit different personal statements. Your CV, identification documents, a TOEFL of minimum point of 79 or IELTS, a minimum score of 6.5. This is compulsory for the MAT, which is the Master of Art in Audiovisual Translation and Translation, the Master of Art in Translation Studies. And for all other programs, including the PhD, you can submit an official letter from your university stating that the medium of instruction is English, or if your English is your native language. For the application process and requirements for the PhD, again, you need to submit an online application, your academic transcript of both bachelor and masters, in which the master should be the minimum GPA of 3 or equivalent, grading scale, personal statement, CV, identification document, and a TOEFL score or IELTS score, or this requirement can be waived if you provide an official letter from your university stating that the medium of instruction is English. 2 recommendation letters and the research proposal. The research proposal will help us identify a supervisor for your topic. Let me remind you that the international application deadline is today, and Qataris and residents application deadline is March 15th. And you can always, if you can take a photo or screenshot the screen, you can always reach out to us by this email address or phone number shown in the screen. The scholarships and tuition fees. Here are the tuition fees of our programs and the duration. The degree is built on a credit hour basis, depending on the number of credits done in a given semester, and the payment plan can be arranged to spread out the payments for the degree. Also, you can find the fees listed on our website. CHSS, for the scholarship, CHSS provide opportunities for scholarships or tuition waivers on a competitive basis and based on available fundings. Once you submit your online application, you are automatically reviewed for the scholarship opportunities. No separate application needs to be done. Also, we offer scholarships and tuition waivers ranging from 50%, 80%, or sometimes 100%. Scholarship and waivers will be given based on the academic merit, excellence, and financial needs, and the students who are awarded with scholarship should adhere to the scholarship policy, which includes enrolling as a full-time student and maintaining an average GPA of 3.25. We would now start answering your questions, which we received a few of them. Bayan is asking, is there a PhD in psychology? We only have one PhD program, which is the Humanities and Social Sciences, which has different fields in the program. Irina is asking, can students living in Qatar get scholarships? If so, what kind of scholarships does the university provide to local students? We provide tuition waivers only. These again are on competitive basis and based on available funds. Sausan is asking, is there any chance to know the university's decision before March? Unfortunately, no, because the deadline is March 15th, and the committee will need to take time to review your application, a full review of your application. Nadia is asking, can you please share with us a contact person from the technical team? I'm facing some errors in the online application form. Nadia, would you please, to all those who are facing any problems, could you please send us a screenshot of the error you are facing to our email address, which I'm gonna share in the chat box. As well, also you can reach out to me. Let me just go back to the email. You can email us, or you can even call me on this phone number. I'm going to be in the office tomorrow, so I can help you, Nadia, with filling your application. Sausan is asking, are there more PhD programs in translation studies, for instance? Again, our program is the PhD of Humanities and Social Sciences, but within the program, we cover the translation studies. It is يعني, it holds different fields like translation, digital humanities, gender studies. So definitely you can write on anything related to translation studies. And you can also go to our faculty page online and see their expertise, and if they are if your interested topic is within their experience, then definitely they can supervise you. My name is Manatalla. I am a graduate of Bachelor of Mathematics from Qatar University. I am interested in MA of Arts in Digital Humanities and Societies. My question is, sorry, the questions keep going up.
She wants to know if there are any prerequisites for digital humanities and societies.
Yes, so again, as I explained the requirements, no need for any educational background. Our programs, for the first year, you would definitely get fundamental or foundation courses on the program. Sorry. Okay. I am interested, Jawida, I am interested in PhD program. Are there scholarships for people coming from developing countries? Can we have a pre-PhD support in terms of developing our proposal? If you can send us an email, we could definitely let you get in touch with our any of our supervisors that can cover your topic before you submit your proposal. But I think since you're asking about the scholarship of developing countries, you're an international student, and unfortunately the deadline is today. So I don't think you will have the time to get the support, the pre-PhD support. Okay, there is a question on the PhD. Can we take it as a part-time? Unfortunately, no, because it is designed to be a full-time program. But the student definitely can have up to 7 years to complete it. Mohammed Al-Hamadi is asking, I'm having technical problems with the PhD program admissions. I am a graduate from the Digital Humanities program. Yes, Mohammed, could you please contact me tomorrow on my office number that is shown on the screen, and I'd be happy to help you. Or even if you can just take a screenshot of the error you're getting. Good evening. I am international student visiting Qatar. I have applied for the PhD program. Can I visit the university to meet the professors? Unfortunately, given the circumstances, we have restriction on visitations. But again, I would be happy to help you in anything or any questions you would like to ask us, and I can get you in touch with any professor by email address. Sorry. Hassan Kuwari, for the part-time degrees, what is the period of time? I think I missed that part when you explained it. So again, for full-time students, you would be taking the degree on 2 years, and part-time 3 years. Reem Al-Maadid, hello, when can we expect to hear back on decisions? Hopefully, starting from end of March till mid-April. So definitely we'll hear back from us before May. Okay. Maram is asking, are all courses from 4 to 7? Yes, Maram, all the classes are 4 to 7. It's basically, we designed them for the convenience of people who are working. I think all the questions are related to the decisions. Again, hopefully we will get back to you about the decision by mid-April. Muhammad Aska is asking, GRE is not required for the PhD program. No, it is not required. They removed the requirement for this year and all upcoming years. Mariam Malki is asking, I am an educator in a governmental school. I'd like to know the available internship opportunities that could suit my timings. I'd also like to know the timings of full-time and part-time schedules. Thank you. Mariam, if you could please send us an email or contact us tomorrow, I'd be happy to share with you the courses that you will be taking and the courses timings. Nadia is asking, if I am a graduate from HBKU, do I have to submit a letter from the university stating the language used was English? Nadia, no, you would be waived from this requirement. But again, if you are applying to the Master of Arts in Audiovisual Translation and Translation Studies, then you would definitely need to submit IELTS or TOEFL. Salam is asking when is the results for getting the scholarships. Again, for the decisions, you would definitely, part of the decision will be on the scholarship as well. So you will hear back from us about the decision for the admission and as well the scholarship. Abdul Aziz, hi, I have applied in translation studies as second choice. However, I did not have IELTS, but I am working as a translator for almost 2 years. And also I have a medium of instructions. Will I get a chance to be selected considering my working experience, or will I be given chance to do IELTS after the admissions? Thank you. Abdul Aziz, again, IELTS cannot be waived for both programs, the translation studies or audiovisual translation. I'm not sure if you are an international student or reside in Qatar, but you can definitely send me an email and I will follow up with you regarding the IELTS examination. Jones, how to submit additional documents after sending the application? Once you finished your application and submit it, you will not be able to re-access it again. So I would advise you to send the additional documents to our email address and stating your full name and the program you are applying to. Farah, my first degree is in English language. Do I still need to send a letter confirming my courses were taught in English? Yes, Farah, we still need the letter because some of the programs also teach, even though the degree is in English or majored in English, they have some courses either in Arabic or other languages. But again, if you are applying for the translation studies programs, then you would have to take the TOEFL or IELTS. Is there an extension for international applications? Unfortunately, no, because the applications were open since October, and because we have like a tight deadline since the World Cup is coming, so we can't extend the deadline. Thank you for the presentation, Ibtisam. Thank you, Sabika. Can you please let me know if PhD students need to submit GRE? Again, it's not required anymore. Nadia is asking, there will be any internship associated with PhD program? And Nadia, Dr. Mehdi, is there an internship required for PhD?
Sorry, internship, did you say?
Yes.
No, PhD does not have any internship.
Yeah.
Dr. Steve can correct me if I'm wrong.
Yes, true.
Yeah, the PhD does not have an internship, but it could be taken as an elective potentially. So you may be able to do an internship as an elective, but of course this needs approval of the program director, Dr. Mehdi, because it has to be a robust one within a company different to what you're currently working in.
Sure. Noha is asking, is there an online interview for the selected students? Yes, definitely. So I advise you to check your email regularly because we would be asking the students to be interviewed, the selected students to be interviewed before the decision is out. Ibrahim Hamid, a current international student about to graduate from a school in Qatar, would he be considered as resident or an international student when applying? When applying, you can choose any of the options, either as international or resident, but make sure to submit, when applying as a resident, make sure to submit your Qatar ID for from the front, the copies from the front and back, so we would know that you are an international student. Maram is asking Dr. Stephen, any payment facilities offered for part-timers? Okay, so Dr. Stephen answered. Sausan, when the interviews due, some interviews would be arranged within 2 weeks, and the remaining would be arranged by end of March. Noha, thank you for this informative session. Thank you, Noha. And thank you all for attending. I believe we covered almost all of the questions, but again, if you have any more questions, please do email us on the email listed on the screen, as well as you can contact us anytime during our working hours, which is from 7 a.m. until 3 p.m., and we would be happy to help you. And thank you all for joining us.
Thank you, everyone.